When we first realized in March that we were going to have to close the Memory Care Center and the half-day connections programs, I think at first we were in disbelief. But as it became closer and it became apparent that we were going to have to close, family members were just saying, I don't know what I'm going to do if you guys close. On March 16th, we made the decision that we were going to close, and the 17th was the last day we were open at the Memory Care Center. Making those phone calls to the families and telling the staff that we were going to be closed and we didn't know for how long was one of the hardest things that I've done in my work life.
When COVID hit and Wellsprings closed, I was relieved that they closed. I have 60% of my lungs and I was worried about COVID coming into my own home.
And I just was so unsure of what I was doing and the choices that I made.
When we made the decision that we were going to have to close, people were very understanding. They knew that it was the right thing to do. All of the caregivers were very much troopers and understood, and I could tell by the way they responded they were going to make the best of it, but they also were fearful and concerned about what was going to happen to their stress level, what was going to happen to their resources, and what was going to happen to their loved ones' cognitive and physical abilities.
When the pandemic hit and Wellsprings closed, it was devastating for Dad. We started noticing a very steep decline in his mental state.
And she was getting bored with my company and missing that socialization. And the pandemic just added another ingredient on top of that. So that is wearing emotionally to the point that, I mean, the emotion becomes physical. It just wears you out.
From what I understand, she really enjoys being there.
So it was like, I'm saying, how long are y'all gonna be closed? I'm saying, when y'all gonna open back up?
During this pandemic, you can think about how caregivers are now having limited or virtually no opportunities to really get a regular break. Those services, when they're disrupted, it makes you go, now how do I cope with all this? So there's a lot of pressure on caregivers right now.
That was my thought. I really had it good at Wellsprings, and when it closed down, I'm saying, oh wow, I'm gonna have to make this adjustment because, I am a full-time caregiver, and now I gotta go back and I gotta make some adjustments before he started going, so that's what I had to do.
So because of the disruption, we have tried to serve our audience in different ways. We've gone to a virtual platform for the education and support programmings. We do 2 support groups a month, which are live, and some folks are comfortable showing their face on camera and we really feel like we're together, and others, we're talking. So we are really touching base and making sure as best we can that the folks have what they need.
When it was time to go back to Wellspring, I was very nervous.
But on the other hand, I appreciated and still appreciate their caution and their care in trying to prevent COVID from coming inside.
I'm very, very confident they're doing everything they can to protect everybody there.
Dad was so excited. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and was fully dressed by 4.
I think Earl was bored around the house because he didn't have anything to do.
Joanne had been sitting most of the day, and the first day she went in, when she came back, she was bright. Her eyes were bright. She had a smile to her, pep in her step, and it was almost as if she had stepped right back into place.
He loves Wellsprings. John is probably his favorite caregiver there. He really loves them.
Marlene does well with the socialization there. It really helps her.
It's really re-engaged his brain, and that's what we needed.
As far as me, it helps me out with my day because I can relax and because I know that he's being well taken care of at Wellsprings.
Wellsprings has been a tremendous amount of help to our family. Dad needed friends, and they have provided that for him. They have provided him an outlet to get out and do things.
Her going to Wellspring gave me the opportunity to continue to work.
I cannot imagine my life being without Wellsprings. Wellsprings is a very, very excellent help. I know they are to me, and I know they are to others, but I don't know what I would do without Wellsprings.
"33% of our operational support comes from philanthropy. That if we do not have philanthropic support, we are not able to provide the services and programs to those most in need."
Community contributions allow us to provide the Memory Care Center, Adult Day Program, and our connection sites to older adults that are frail and have dementia and are low income. It also allows us to provide support groups to the community and to those family caregivers that need it at no charge, as well as provide caregiver classes and education at no charge as well to those family caregivers that need it.
Later in this program, you'll hear a message from Ben Zara, our board chair, asking you for your philanthropic support of these programs. For some of you, this may be the first time that you have supported. For many of you, I know you have been supporters over many years, and for that support, I say thank you, and I thank you for your consideration now. Your philanthropic support has never been more needed than it is during these challenging times, so thank you.
I would like to thank you for your time and your contributions. I know many of you have attended the breakfast for years, since we started this breakfast. And some of you may be joining us for the very first time. And again, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for helping spread the word in our community. And thank you for your support.